Hello, welcome back to our Letters of Healing series. We are now on week 2 and letter number 2. The purpose of this series is just to encourage us, remind us that there is power in community in our journeys, remind us that we are not alone in this journey, and also remind us that we can do this. By seeing and hearing the stories and testimonies of others, we're able to find encouragement. I really hope and pray that we find the encouragement to carry on. We find the encouragement to keep the good fight and to really march hard towards the healing visions that we have for ourselves. So let's get into the letter. This letter is called God Can Change Your Story. About 3 years ago, I was simply going about life. Everything seemed normal, maybe even good. I was working, raising my children, doing life. Yes, there were the usual stresses, but I was happy, hopeful, and thankful. Then I started noticing strange symptoms. Dizzy spells, fatigue I couldn't explain, heavy periods that left me drained. My doctor said I was anemic, so we started treatment. Iron supplements, iron drips every 2 weeks, but nothing helped. Something wasn't right. Then I noticed a hard growth in my abdomen. I went for a scan. They said it looked like a gynecological issue. I had fibroids before, so I assumed it was that. But this time, something was different. Surgery was scheduled. The growth was removed and tested. And then came the words that shifted my world. You have cancer. Everything froze. I remember the heaviness in that moment. The unknown, the fear, the immediate question, what about my children? From that point on, it felt like I was falling into a deep valley. I didn't know what the next steps were or how I'd find the strength. The doctors laid out the plan: chemotherapy and radiation, a hard, long road, and I didn't know how to walk it. I had my first round of chemo in December 2022, then went home for Christmas. That December, my mom had 2 sickly people to tend to, myself and my dad, who had been diagnosed with kidney failure and was going through dialysis. But we had a beautiful time because family is sometimes all one needs. I remember my hair started falling out in chunks. My brother gave me a haircut. We returned to Joburg after the festive season, and cancer was still there, waiting to be dealt with. But here is where my story turns. God stepped in. He reminded me of a verse I'd known all my life, but now it became personal. Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23:4. I clung to that promise, and I handed him everything. My fear, my future, my family, my body, and my healing. I said, God, carry me. And boy, did he. I asked God for a very specific thing. Lord, don't let my children see me sick. I didn't want them to be afraid or scared by this season. I wanted them to see faith, not fear. And in his mercy, I never got physically sick during chemotherapy. Not once. For 6 months while I was in treatment, I was able to work, I was able to show up to life. I even got nominated for a management advancement course, and I accepted. I said, I will have life after cancer. Count me in. I began radiation soon after, every single weekday. It was exhausting. I eventually took time off work, but not off school. I had lecture block week during radiation and was able to show up every day to classes. I'd wake up early, Uber to the hospital for radiation, then Uber straight to a full day of classes. I'd go home, do my assignments, and do it all again the next day. Every step of the way, God carried me. He didn't just heal my body, he healed my soul. He gave me strength when I had none, peace that didn't make sense, joy that came in the middle of pain, and hope that shouted louder than fear. Today, I'm cancer-free. Not because I'm strong, not because I had it all figured out, but because God is faithful. He never left me in the valley. He walked me through it and brought me out stronger, deeper in faith, and completely convinced of this. There is nothing life can throw at me that my God cannot carry me through. I am healed. I am whole. I am His. And to anyone who may be in their own valley, I want you to know God sees you. God is with you. And when you are too weak to stand, He will carry you too. Oh, by the way, my dad was also miraculously healed from kidney failure. He came off dialysis 2 months after I was declared to be in remission. December 2024 was very different, filled with love, laughter, and health. God completely changed my family's story. And that is our letter 2. Okay. As per part of the process, questions and provocations for us in listening to the letter and listening to the story and listening to the journey. 4 things came up that I would love to pose to us. The power of community to keep us floating. In your journey of healing, are you surrounded by community? People who want to see you heal, people who will carry you when you cannot stand, people who will encourage you when you're in a deep, dark place, people who will remind you why you're doing this when you are tired of doing this, people who will celebrate you even for the smallest of wins of every day. Do you have community around you that is there for your healing? The second question, or the second provocation. You're allowed to take a break from the pain. Look up out of the actual thing and see life around you. Live a little to remind yourself that you are not cancer. You are not the thing that is your trauma right now, or the thing that you're carrying right now. It helps to breathe a little and fuels us a little. I guess sometimes we can get so wrapped up in the things that hurt us, whether physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, that we forget to realize that you are not that thing. It is part of your life, but it is not your life. So take a moment to just step away from it some days and pick up your eyes and look around and realize you're alive and you're here because your story isn't done. The third one, what do you have outside of yourself to cling to and pull you out when you can't? It's important to have something healthy. Find it. Just like community, you need to have something outside of yourself that when you no longer have anything within you, you're able to cling to and pull yourself out. You're able to cling to and be dragged by it if you have to, that you're able to cling to. Find it. Find the healthy thing. And by healthy, it means that that thing itself will only add to your healing journey and the person you are on the other side. There was a beautiful line in this story that said, "I will have life after cancer. Count me in." What is the healing vision you have for yourself? Who do you see yourself being on the other side of the pain? Who do you see yourself, or what do you see yourself looking like, sounding like, walking like, responding like? What is the healing vision you have for yourself? And if you don't have one, think about it. Create one. Give yourself something that you'll say, "Count me in." That was letter number 2. Thank you for listening through right to the end. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear anything that was sparked within you in listening to this letter and these provocations afterwards. Please drop it in the comments, and then we will be able to start a conversation from there. Have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead. Bye.